Today, guys, we're gonna watch The Speaker Man. He is my favorite character. Oh, that's me. Give it to me. Yeah, exactly. No more person. I'm defending myself. No, you said afterwards. You used it. You got time. Yeah, and I'm going to really win that. Get on the base. Get on the base.
faced with monumental structures, likely located in the main engine room of the base. Although the quality of the image doesn't let us see all the details, their shape and scale strongly suggest that they are giant energy reactors or engines. Remembering the events of episode 78 and the power demonstrated by the Speakerman Armada, we can assume these aren't just simple generators. Perhaps these installations are the source of the immense energy that powers their advanced technologies, like the ones that charge the Executioner's scythe. It's possible these units provide power to the entire base, which has now become the last stronghold and refuge for the whole Alliance. The next frame is truly touching. In the central hall of the base stands a statue of the Dark Speaker Man. No, a miracle hasn't happened, and he hasn't returned after his heroic death in episode 70. This monument is a tribute to his eternal memory and self-sacrifice. It's a direct parallel to the statue of Plunderman that we saw at the cameraman's base, which we painfully watched being destroyed by the hands of the Watchmen of Doom. That act of vandalism wasn't just the destruction of granite. It was a blow to the morale of the entire Alliance. Now, seeing how the Speakermen honor their fallen brother, we understand that their spirit is not broken. This moment inspired me to create my own 3D render, showing what this statue could look like in all its glory. Personally, I added this pose and a spear, because if you remember, the Dark Speakerman had a spear right before his death. That's why I decided to portray him with a spear in his hands, in the pose of a Greek statue, as if he's about to throw it. Be sure to rate my version in the comments. By the way, it's worth touching on the technical side of these spoilers. The base location was created not by Mr. Boom himself, but by the modeler Zach Dorr, which caused me and many fans some concern about the visual style. Excessive lighting effects, like bloom, could ruin the dark and tense atmosphere of the series. Fortunately, the spoilers show a balanced and visually pleasing picture. Let's hope that in the final render we'll see the same style we've all come to love, without any overbright reshaders. The third spoiler is pure hype, a powerful and exciting hint that makes your heart beat faster. The composition of the frame literally screams, he's back! Yes, we are talking about Titan Speakerman. It's hard to overestimate the importance of this event. It's been over a year since we last saw him, but he was badly wounded and almost died trying to rush to safety. Now, the Alliance is on the brink of total destruction. The cameramen have lost their base, and Titan TV Man has been captured and turned into an enemy puppet. The return of Titan Speakerman will be more than just reinforcement. It will be a ray of hope, an event that could turn the tide of the war. The only fear is that this might just be another cliffhanger at the end of the episode. The fourth image continues to build on the theme of preparing for something grand. We see a massive mechanical speaker device with huge claws. The statue is still in the background, so we are still at the Speakerman's base. This is clearly not a part of the Titan. Most likely, we are looking at a high-tech manipulator drone. Its functions could be diverse, from transporting heavy modules and weapons to directly participating in the repair and modernization of the Titan. It might even be able to perform emergency repairs right on the battlefield during a fight, which would give the Titan a huge advantage. The presence of such complex equipment shows that the Speakermen weren't just waiting, they were preparing. Their base isn't just a fortress, it's a full-fledged industrial and repair complex, focused on servicing their main trump card. However, the fifth spoiler is not so straightforward. We see the scientist TV man in a pose that is an almost exact copy of the scene from the end of episode 66. Back then, that frame teased the appearance of Titan TV Man, but we didn't see him in the next episode. As we know, Mr. Boom is a master of playing with fan expectations, and this reference might not be accidental. It could be an ominous hint that history will repeat itself, and instead of the triumphant return of Titan Speakerman, we will only get another agonizing cliffhanger, just a hint of his appearance, but not the appearance itself. This creates incredible tension. Will Titan Speakerman finally be shown, or will we have to wait for many more long?
Keep your car out of the snow.
Wait for many more long months. The last spoiler is the richest in terms of plot development. The scientist cameraman, one of the key figures of the Alliance, is in dialogue with the Speakerman, and in the background, containers, boxes, equipment. There's no doubt, the cameramen, having lost their home, have found refuge at their allies' base. This is an amazing and incredibly symbolic turn of events. Remember the beginning of their alliance. In episode 24, it was the cameramen who were saving the Speakermen. Later, the cameramen were considered the main fighting force. Then, the TV men dominated. And now, in the darkest hour, it's the Speakermen, once the weakest faction, who become the last hope and stronghold of the entire alliance. The plot comes full circle, showing that in this war, nothing is eternal except the need to stick together. This isn't just a move. It's a merger of the remaining forces, minds, and technologies of the Alliance before a decisive battle. The scientist cameraman has brought with him not only refugees, but also priceless data, and possibly the results of the detective cameraman's investigation. The most obvious thing that follows from the spoilers is the preparation for the return of Titan Speakerman. But what will he be like? Just repaired? Highly unlikely. We saw how the Speakerman Armada, including the Executioner, was enhanced with Astro technologies. It's logical to assume that their Titan will receive the most advanced upgrades. Perhaps his sound cannons will now be able to not just attack, but also disperse the Astro's energy shields, much like the Executioner's scythe dispersed their shots. But his psychological state is far more important. We remember his rage after his best friend, Titan Cameraman, was killed or infected by the Astros. It happened off-screen, but nevertheless, it's unlikely Titan Cameraman is okay. And all this year, Titan Speakerman wasn't just being repaired. He has been building up his anger. His return will not just be the appearance of a strong combat unit, but an act of brutal revenge aimed at everyone responsible for his friend's suffering. Primarily, the Astro toilets. I also want to note one detail in one of the spoilers, namely the presence of the scientist TV man at the Speakerman's base. This is a significant moment. The TV men, who considered other races as fodder, now see how their former little brothers have become their last hope. This could lead to two outcomes. The first is that the TV men, realizing their situation, will begin full and honest cooperation, sharing their technologies. For example, their knowledge of the Dark Dimension, or the developments on the Astro Scorpion's claw. The second, more cunning option, is that the TV men will only pretend to cooperate, while in reality, they will try to steal the Speakerman's technologies and data on the Titan's improvements to restore their dominance. Not because they are traitors, but out of a sense of humiliation, trying to regain their superiority. This may sound crazy, but I believe this is the case. But not all characters in the Alliance behave this way. TV Woman, for instance, has never acted like some of the other TV men. Besides, the Speakerman's base is now more than just a shelter. It's a new command center where the paths of all factions, including the G-Squad, are set. Let's recall the words of the Skibidi Mafia from the last episode. He said that none of the Astros would escape their boss's wrath. He was talking about G-Toilet. The return of Titan Speakerman could be part of a larger plan developed by G-Toilet. Perhaps his scientists and repairmen, using their knowledge of Astro technologies, helped in modernizing the Titan in exchange for an alliance. The Speakerman's base will become the gathering point for a decisive counterattack, where the power of the alliance and the cunning of the G-Squad will unite. The appearance of such a powerful ally as Titan Speakerman is exactly what G-Squad needs to challenge the Duke himself and get even with his daughter, the Duchess. But when will the episode be released? There is no exact date yet. The recent collaboration with PUBG could have affected the schedule, but one thing is clear: the wait will be worth it. All we can do is build theories and prepare for a new dose of incredible events. Share your thoughts in the comments. Will we see Titan Speakerman in all his renewed power? How will the dynamics within the Alliance change after this forced unification? And what will be the Astros' next step? Subscribe so you don't miss anything important.